So hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good to be here.
Good to, yes.
Welcome everybody to We Said.tv.
Hi, and we're back to our...
We're back on our own sides.
Yes, we can sort of hear each other again.
Yeah, well this here is totally fine now, and this here is just a little
Yeah, this one's still...
up.
I still have just a little ringing.
But I can hear
whatever.
well enough.
Yeah.
They say every time that your ear rings, that's the last time you'll ever hear that particular frequency. Like that's that...
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's true or not.
going
I've never
away?
Googled it or gone to Snopes, but I
Yeah.
heard that when I was... not even when I was a kid, like just several years ago, that's what that
Oh my
is.
God.
So you'll never hear that
Great.
particular frequency
Well,
again.
I know when I was taking my college course, it was our music class, and the music teacher would play like these frequencies and kind of to see who could still hear it.
Right.
And I know my hand went down long before the 18-year-old kid next to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, like they have a sound that can be a ringtone for their like my kids' phone, and they've gotten it before just to mess with me, and they can hear it, and I can't.
Really?
I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't. Like some of them, I can almost hear it if I listen hard enough, but I have to be really listening for it. You know, so they're hard to hear. Yeah,
yeah,
that's like the whole thing. It's like the older you get, you lose all those.
So your kids can mess with you. Fuckers.
They probably do. You better not.
So, okay, well, since we last taped, civil unions went into effect here in Colorado. So congratulations, everyone that was out at midnight getting married. Two people I know, David Westman and Anthony Aragon, were one of the very first ones to get married.
Yeah, they were all over the news and everything.
They were everywhere. They were on the Wall Street Journal. It was just like, God, okay, do I have to see them all fucking day today?
You know, I wonder who they knew that they were able to be one of the first ones to do it.
Anthony works for the mayor. And he used to work he used to work for the governor. So yeah, he works for
that helps.
He works for the city of Denver. So yes.
Nice.
And he was on like the civil union planning committees and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Course.
I had no idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's a big part. So yeah, good. But they weren't the very first ones. I don't know if they were the first males, but they were the very first ones.
Were those girls?
Females,
I saw them with their
they were
kids
pretty
in their dresses.
God, they were
and their
gorgeous.
Kids.
Yeah, they were all decked out, and and then there's some of them that were there getting married that were in like blue jeans and a t-shirt, and I mean it's justice of the peace basically. Right. So you don't have to be totally dressed up, but I thought it was kind of.
But it was kind of a momentous occasion.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd want to be dressed for the occasion.
It's like you want to kind of be dressed up a little bit, or...
I mean, I agree. But, I mean, I had friends that got married, like, in, like, just either slacks or, or even jeans and, like, their coat. Because,
mine's...
I
would totally be, like, in shorts and Hawaiian shirts. Or,
I might do that, too.
I mean, there's...
But I wasn't at the Capitol with all the news cameras there.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
That's right, yeah, exactly. No, I mind if, I would love to have, like, a destination wedding. Like, everybody comes to Mexico, and...
Why don't you make it so I can go, so everybody goes to Salt Lake City?
To Salt Lake City,
That'd be great.
Lovely.
No, we would have to be here for it to be legal.
Yeah, we have to, exactly.
So it would have to be somewhere here. We could all go
you could
to
go and
the
do
mountains.
it. You could go do it there, but then you have to, like, do whatever you do here.
You have to do the official ceremony here.
So what I thought was funny, and, I mean, what I think is really funny, so we were in Jamaica several years ago, and, speaking of destination weddings, there's this huge party of like 40 to 50 people there for this girl's wedding.
Right.
And we're watching like wedding after wedding after wedding happen at this resort and blah, blah, blah. And it's just gorgeous. Beautiful weather. The day that this poor girl's wedding is, and her wedding's at like 4:00. 3:30, the monsoon came in.
Oh my.
Just poured the entire day, entire night.
Did she still get married?
Oh yeah, she did. But we saw her later, and she was just bawling. And I was like, but it's like, I was like, don't think of it as a bad thing. I was like,
it's like a bad sign.
Yeah,
at her wedding.
I mean, so they had to move the entire wedding party inside. I mean, I just felt bad because she was the one that had the most there.
Right.
We were watching like other people. It was like 4 people or whatever, but yeah, she literally had like a group of 40 or 50 people.
Well, they were all still on the island. They were all still there, and it wasn't the wedding of her dreams. But...
Yeah, and then of course, so that day the huge rainstorm, and then the rest of the week was just beautiful. Again,
of course, that's the way that happens. Usually, like even in like on islands like that, they come and go quickly because they move overhead. 15 minutes later, it's dry.
This just drenched us the entire day. It was like midnight, I think, by the time that it had stopped finally raining. So we were all kind of like hidden under, the pavilions all day. And I think it was the only day that we actually went and did their like bingo and stupid games because...
What else were we going to do? They were probably packed too.
It really wasn't. We were winning like every bingo game.
Oh, really?
There were only like 10
People were like, not them again.
Yeah. So I was like, ugh. I don't know. I won some stinky. Oh my god, it was the stinkiest. I think it was a cologne, but it was like just god awful smell. And
yeah.
I think it's been passed around to the group that was there now, like because it turned out to be the joke gift.
Oh, so everybody go to gets it every time.
It's like, oh, here you go. So I don't know where it is, and please don't give it back. It was in my trunk for the longest time, and we'd open the trunk, and it was like, oh god,
you could smell it outside of the bottle.
It was awful. It was god awful. So, but yeah. So anyway, congratulations
to everybody. That's a great thing. And then since then, Maryland's passed gay marriage.
Oh yeah,
they
Maryland
were 11 and now Minnesota or Rhode Island.
Blah blah blah. Somebody did today.
Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota
and Delaware.
Oh no, Delaware did already. Yeah, those two already.
A couple days ago, and then
Oh, wait, maybe it's Delaware and not Maryland.
It's because Maryland I think had already had it.
Okay, so yeah, it's Delaware
and Massachusetts was like one of the first.
Yeah, and now today in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But it hasn't like become official. But they went through the first process.
Yeah, well, that's because most of the sessions are ending right now. Like. Today is the end of our legislative session. Right. So, I mean, that's why it's been
I saw
the news and everything. That's why last year, I think it was last year at this time, was when civil unions died here.
Yeah.
Was because it was at this time at the end of the session. And
Frank McNulty, the Speaker of the House, he ran out the clock or whatever, yeah.
What you thinking now there? You could have done a hell of a lot more if you'd, probably more stuff could have been done. But anyway.
It was a bad thing.
Well, speaking of weddings, it's a horrible, horrible story.
Oh, where is that?
Did we put that over here?
Yes.
The limo.
The limo that caught fire on the San Mateo Bridge? I don't live in California, so
yeah,
I think it's it's a San Francisco area bridge. It's not one of the big ones.
Yeah.
And just going across, it just burst into flames, and the girls were like yelling, "Stop! Smoke!"
Smoke! Yeah.
And he was thinking they wanted to stop and smoke, and he wasn't going to pull over on the side. I mean, I think that all happened really quickly.
That's kind of I think it was very
and then he immediately saw the smoke and pulled over. But and they found the girls, like the four of them, all scrunched up by the window trying to climb out because they couldn't get out the doors because it was coming back through the trunk. That's terrible.
It's just awful.
Could you imagine? I mean, it's just terrible.
It's horrible. Like I mean, when I first heard the story, I was like, well, how could they? I was like, what? But I mean, thinking of a limo, sure, if it starts at the back, the front has no door.
They were,
and if he didn't have that window down or anything, then you're not getting.
And there wasn't because they were on the highway, and that's what they're kind of saying on here was that current law there has to be another door up front for safety reasons. Okay. And had there been, they would have all gotten out.
Then they would have been able to do it.
But they couldn't climb through the window fast enough. They got overcome by the smoke, and then the flames got them.
Just a horrible story. And I know I think the bride was killed.
Oh yeah, the bride was one of them. Yeah.
Oh,
and she was they had just gotten married here, and then they were going back to the Philippines, I guess, in the next month or two to celebrate it again, and that's never gonna happen.
That's
it was just sad. That's why I say. And then I read another weird story on Facebook last night. So this girl's at the ballpark with her friend. I believe it's a friend of hers, and they're sitting there and they're watching them practice. And all of a sudden, the one girl falls, and the other girl, she was watching them practice. They were just standing there eating hot dogs, and she falls, and a nurse comes running up. They try to give her CPR. They get her to the hospital. They pronounce her dead. She had choked to death on her hot dog.
Oh my god!
And no one noticed, because they were all watching and stuff, and no one knew she had choked, and she just fell right over. And they just tried. They thought she passed out and all that, so they didn't know to try to clear her throat. Yeah. It was so she just died just like that. And the friend of mine had posted, he goes, "I thought this was an article for The Onion at first." It was so.
I know it
crazy.
Does. It sounds so crazy. Well, that's even the limo fire too. When I first heard about that one, I was like, "What? That just doesn't sound."
Yeah, it's crazy. You just never know. Is what the point I'm making. Know. So live every day. Live every day to its fullest.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Poor people. But then I mean, good news about some women who they got released from their kidnapper.
Oh yeah, those three girls.
They escaped their kidnapper after they've been kidnapped for
almost a decade.
10 years,
some of them a little more and some of them a little less, but. 3 of them kept in that house. Yeah, and that guy's getting charged not only with their assaults and their kidnappings, but apparently, I read today, that one of them, he, every time she got pregnant, he starved her and, would punch her in the baby until she'd miscarriage. Yeah, and so they were going to charge him for murder for all those, too. They're probably going to go after the death penalty after.
Gosh, that's crazy.
I mean, it sounded insane. For 10 years.
It sounded so... Silence of the Lambs to me.
That's crazy. They were bound and everything all the time. And a lot of
Kiss the Girls. That was one of the movies too, where they had all.
I don't know if I've seen that.
There was a bunch of girls down in the basement, and Ashley Judd was the one to escape. You know?
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So,
oh, no, I don't remember that.
And it turned out to be the cop, and spoiler alert.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I guess I won't anymore.
But, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of, it's crazy that stuff like that could happen next door to you, and you just don't even.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that their police were called and had gone to the house a couple different times, but
never for them.
But never for the girl.
Yeah, so. and they would say no one was home, and they would leave, and which no one may have been. And apparently, it's not the best neighborhood. But I read today also that a lot of people are like criticizing the 911 operator that took the call because she didn't stay on the line with her.
Oh.
You know, she was like, I've been kidnapped for 10 years. And she's like, we're going to send a car as soon as one's available. She's like, you don't understand. He's going to be back. I need a copy here now.
Yeah.
And so, then she got some information from her. She asked her some questions. She hung up the phone. And the girl was like not communicating with anybody until the cop showed up. I mean, that's terrible.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Yeah, and then there was that guy.
The guy that found her, he's like, I knew there was something wrong with a little white girl running towards a black man. I thought that
he's like, I was just home eating some McDonald's.
So he'll be the new kind of.
McDonald's is reaching out to him. They tweeted him today.
Well, and he also has denied any kind of. The reward.
Bail reward.
Yeah, the reward.
Yeah, he said he gets a paycheck. Give it to them.
Yeah, so I think that's really cool.
I think that's awesome.
It's very humble of him.
I think he's like just a good, genuine, real person, and, good for him for his karma points and all that. Like, a lot of people would have just, like, there was, like, somebody else that came forward and said, I was actually the one that was there. Oh, well, it's too late now. His video already went viral, and, like... And then I read the meanest things about him. I haven't seen the video.
Yeah,
okay, so
really
I'm not
either.
being judgmental, but... Apparently, the new guy that's come forward is like some kind from some Latin or Spanish-speaking country, American, and so he doesn't speak English, and people are like saying, "Well, that's why you couldn't go viral because you didn't speak English and all that." Like, it was just terrible things people were saying. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm really," and it was people that I never expected it from, and I was like, "Oh, okay, go ahead and think like that." Really. But he's never going to be the hero, anyways, because it's always the other guy, the one that did it already. I still don't even know his name.
I can't.
Damn it.
I know today the guy who kidnapped him got charged. And
yeah, I saw him. He was all with his head down.
Yeah,
like he wouldn't hold his head up.
Good. But I mean, the first thing that really went through my mind was like, God, this is really, I'm like, sell the movie rights to this.
I mean, what a house of horrors. Like, those girls are going to be okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they'll be fine.
Sell a lot.
They'll be fine. I think it'll be, it's good. But God.
I mean, but are they, you know what I'm saying? Can they ever be okay?
Well, will they ever trust anyone? Like, I could shoot.
I bet. I mean, like, the one girl went home to her sister, with her daughter. I bet she can trust her, Like,
oh, yeah.
I think she knows she was just stuck with the bad guy. I mean, could you imagine not being able to get out for 10 years?
It's insane.
Oh, my God. 10 years. That's so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't even imagine. Like, that's just, like,
Good
you'd have to go
Lord.
through that to know what that's like. I mean, you can't even imagine what that's like.
Right.
She went from a child to almost a 30-year-old. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, how much you've missed. Like really.
Her mom died while she was in there.
Her mom died, yeah. And just
never knowing whether she was alive or dead.
Missed. Yeah, it's like there's just so many different things.
Yeah, it's sad. Anyways, I mean, enough of that. Everybody's talking about it everywhere. It's all over the place. It is sad. We get it. Oh, God. So here's something else kind of like along the same lines of like people getting charged with things. So I'm totally going to make fun of you before I talk about the article.
That's right.
So I come in today, and I've got, like, our articles that we're going to talk about, and I have this one that I had to talk to him about earlier. And I said, well, here's one, but, this is all over the news. I don't know if we want to talk about it. And I read it to him. Jury finds Jodi Arias guilty of first-degree murder. And he says...
Who?
Okay. I go, Jodi Arias?
Who?
Still, you have no idea. I was like, where have you been for like the last year? It's all over the news. Like, okay, so she was like some crazy girl that lived in California that met some guy online. Or no, she met him at a convention in Vegas, and he lived in Mesa, Arizona. And she would come back and forth, and they had a relationship, and he broke it off with her. Well, and then like later on, she went back to visit him. A gun came missing from her grandmother's house, the same gun that happened to kill him, the gun that hasn't been accounted for. Or maybe the gun has been accounted for.
Oh, yeah,
but that's not the point. She basically shot him and stabbed him like 37 times. She says she doesn't recall doing it. Well, first she denied it.
Yeah.
She blamed it on two masked intruders, and then she said something else.
Oh, I kind of,
and now she finally admitted it, but she said it was in self-defense because he was hurting her.
Yeah.
But yes, she had no, she was crazy. She killed him in cold blood. But yeah, I just can't believe you don't know who she is. That's like the new O.J. Simpson trial, or the new what's her name, the one that killed her daughter, or supposedly didn't kill her daughter. Oh God, I can't remember her name.
The one that she drowned the kids too in the
car.
the
Texas woman.
Yeah.
Oh. See, that was in New York or New Jersey.
They just go.
I don't know. This one was sensational though. It's like everywhere.
Yeah, I just don't really watch a whole lot of news.
Get rid of it. I know I don't watch a lot of news either, but it's in like all the news feeds and stuff. like I even see people post things. The signs if you've been watching too much of the Jodi Arias trial, and it's like you object to things instead of arguing with them. You know, like stupid things like that. I mean, it's everywhere. It's ridiculous.
I know. Oh well, I'm not.
You're pretty.
I know. Thank God. It's the blonde roots.
It was just fun to make fun of you. I'm sorry. There's plenty to make fun of me for.
Yeah, honestly, if I had probably watched a little bit more, I'd have been like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that.
I really didn't follow it at all. You know, like I get the news feed at work, so things pop up and I read it. But
the arrest, the trial has probably been going on for
6 months.
Yeah, forever. So I lost interest in OJ. I could care less.
Yeah.
There was just I really didn't care because I knew he did it. So.
True story.
But okay, well, why don't we take a quickie?
Yeah, I need another drink.
Quickie little 2 and 2 and visit our sponsors and welcome our new sponsor again, Mile High Gay Guy.
Yes, we're so glad to be here.
Yeah, we're so.
He retweeted us. Yeah, I was so excited. So that was fun. Thanks.
So I actually talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he was going to see Iron Man, which I saw over the weekend.
How was it?
It was all right.
Well, tell me about it when we get back.
Okay, well, we'll be right back.
All right, we'll be back. But it's good to be back.
Yes, it is.
How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so we were sick, and now I think my allergies.
my allergies.
I bit my tongue the other day, and it's still like.
I totally bit my cheek when I was chewing gum.
It's so swollen. I feel like it's on the teeth.
It hurts so bad. It's like such a sharp pain, and
I can feel like here.
I don't want to feel it.
Feel it.
Right there. Oh yeah, I feel that spot. Oh.
You touched my tongue.
You may. I didn't even wash my hands, so I'm just saying. Oh no! I mean, I did earlier, but I mean, not since I've gotten drinks and stuff.
A little germ here and there is not going to kill me. So,
that's true.
I saw an article about that, or it was on the news, because I do watch the news sometimes.
Okay.
I just don't know who.
Jodi Arias.
This Jodi person is.
This person of whom you speak.
I mean, ask me what Lindsay Lohan's doing, and I can sure fucking tell you.
That's great.
So, but they were talking about if you drop drop the baby's pacifier and use your own mouth to clean it, it's actually helpful to the baby because it helps their immune system get used to.
I read that.
Yeah, I thought that was really kind of.
And I totally believe that.
Because I always think it's gross when I see people do that. They're like.
I used to do it to my kids.
And then shove it back in the kid. I mean, I'm sure my mom did it to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes you're not by a sink, Yeah.
I
mean, if we were by the sink, of course, I'd rinse it off. But if we were out somewhere or something, I'd just do it.
Or I'd see them on their like that. It's like,
well, you get all the dirt off of it, and then you clean it off,
Well, of course, I'm also the 3-second rule. If I drop something on the floor,
oh, not me.
I'm down to eat it right away.
Now, unless it's like a pill, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to throw my pill away. But food, it can go. Because a pill, it's not sticky or anything, and you can blow it off, and there's nothing on it,
Oh, I hate when you're taking pills and that one doesn't go down, and it's stuck on your tongue.
I gross people out because I don't even take water with pills. I just swallow them.
Really? Huh. I can take a handful and then do a water. Holden can only do one pill at a time.
That's my mom. She can only do one pill. Yeah. I mean, she's got to take 6 pills every morning, and there she is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just take them all. And she's like, I can't.
My night ritual is take my fiber, take my all these.
Oh God.
All these fun pills, and they're big. They're like this friggin' big, and I just put them all in hand and. It's like my probiotic.
No, I gotcha. Kind of all your healthy stuff.
All my healthy stuff.
The older you get, the more you want to live.
So that kind of thing. In the morning, then I just, can have a nice poop.
We like poop. Poop is good. All know you love poop. We've talked about it several times.
Yes, I do. I like to poop. So, one thing we were going to touch on was this soccer. So, I was thinking of, this made me think of crazy soccer moms. And I had a friend on Facebook post about her second son had just made, the junior varsity team, and her oldest is on the varsity team. And she's like, I'm going to be one of those crazy soccer moms that gets in a fight with the soccer coach. Well, maybe I should send her this article.
Absolutely. And, well, I think we kind of touched base on the fact that the kid hit him. Last time we talked about it, the kid hit him, and he was just like hurt then at the time. But now he's died. Well, what happened was he got a foul or whatever, like a yellow card, which is a penalty or something in soccer. I don't really exactly know. No idea. And he got mad and like punched him, and
punched him like in the throat, I guess, or something, right?
Was it? Like I'm not really sure.
But I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it says anymore.
But what had happened was he thought he was okay at first, and he would shake it off, and then he started to like not feel good, and then he sat down, and he started throwing up blood, and then he went into a coma, and now he's dead. And so now they want to charge the kid. He's only 17 as an adult.
Well, I mean, I guess it could be involuntary manslaughter, right? Because I don't know.
I don't think he intended to kill him. I think he hit him out of just like frustration and anger. But I'm sorry, but that just shows how far society's come. Like, you can't do that. That's not appropriate. No, what made him think that was okay to do that?
Well, because everybody in soccer, everybody now gets there's no losers anymore. Everybody gets a ribbon. Everyone gets a ribbon. Everyone gets a trophy. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So it is ridiculous.
Kids are brought
There's no reason to try to succeed because you're gonna get the same thing.
But I mean, it's the same with like professional athletes too. If the referee calls them out, they're sitting there.
Yeah, but at least there's penalties, and so it doesn't have. They may posture, but they're not usually going to hit them or anything because we're talking a lot of money. Like if they do something like that. Here, there was really no penalty, and I'm sure that kind of thing. And had he not gotten hurt like that, we would have never heard about it, and it would have just gone on, and that kid would still be playing soccer, and he'd still be roughing for him, but it's just not right what happened. It's very sad.
I think it's
I think he should be tried as an adult.
I do too. Yeah, I think
it's unfortunate, but he took someone's life.
There's so many. So even here in Colorado, we had that Nathan Dunlap who was the Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if you had lived here.
I didn't live here. Well, I went to eat at Super Salad one time with Dan, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, this is where the Chuck E. Cheese massacre happened." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah. So right as I was eating. That was great.
I really I just ignored the story because I was like, no, if he gets give him the death penalty, and yes.
That's what was decided.
So they did, and I don't know what I guess the family was divided. The families were divided.
Well, they were hoping
now it's scheduled. So
right, they were hoping that Governor Hickenlooper would
come in
and stop it, and he didn't. And I don't think he should have, and I don't think that's blood on his hands. People say that, but
for any of us that lived here during that, that was a tragic story. It was just as bad as Columbine, and if those guys had been alive, give them the death penalty.
I mean, look at all the big national news shootings that happen here in Colorado. What is up with that?
And the stupid, the idiot that shot the theater up last year.
That's going to plead insanity, not guilty by reason of insanity.
Bullshit.
Who cares? You took all those lives, you're dying.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry.
If I was on,
our legal system sickens me. Like, I'm not saying it should be like
proven until guilty,
innocent until proven guilty.
Whatever.
But I mean, there's no way that he's going to win. I'm sorry. Like, and there's no way they're going to find a jury that doesn't know anything about this case. How are they going to find that? Oh, I'm sorry. Are they going to be from China? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, everybody knows about this.
Where the hell? Well, that's what I always wonder is like, where do they find these? Well, I guess I could have been on that Jodi Arias or Judy.
You could have been, yeah.
I could have totally been
if you lived in Arizona.
Yeah. Like, I have no clue who she is. So
that's crazy. It happened in like the Phoenix area. Yeah. I mean, she lived in California, but that's where the trial was.
Yeah, but I just think it's crazy. It's just, it sucks. I mean, it's. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm starting to become that old guy, but it's the world that we live in.
Oh, I've always been kind of the eye for the eye kind of person. Like, that's why I can get myself out of jury duty so easily, because if they'll ask me that question, do you believe in this? Yes. It's like, because I do. I mean, I'm not lying.
Right.
Like, if this person murdered somebody, then hey, let's hang him.
I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, you're not saying that you think he's guilty, but you're saying that if he did, then he should pay.
If he did, then he should pay for it. So.
But they don't want you on there because you're an extreme juror. They don't want somebody that's going to recommend death.
Right.
Whatever. It's just ridiculous.
It's all good. So, but now we can obviously make guns with this new 3D printer.
Isn't that crazy? Like, and so like hundreds of thousands of people have downloaded it. And today the federal government put an injunction to shut them down, like to stop them from downloading it or letting people download it, which is crap.
The program?
Or like or the file that you print.
Oh,
like
okay.
I assume it comes as a file and then you just print it.
Yeah.
Did you see the one where they like used a printer similar to that and they printed a human ear?
Oh, I
with
did.
Organs
yeah.
in it and everything.
Really?
Or it wasn't organs, but like I think it had some of the bone structure. It had something in it that was going to help somebody hear.
Interesting.
They just printed it. We'll just print that right up. I mean, someday they're going to print you. They'll be able to print you a heart based on your own heart and your own genetics. I mean, that is an amazing technology.
Well, it's about.
And of course they're going to use it for guns and for other things, and dirty things like vibrators
that was
and
the
dildos.
First thing that was in my mind.
You're gonna like porn's the first thing that makes things like that go forward.
Exactly.
Because they bring it to the masses and they make it affordable, and then you can make other things that you can download. But porn's what brings it everywhere. Porn is why.
The internet's huge.
The internet, huge. Like that's why VHS took off. It wasn't thanks to it wasn't at first. It was all porn.
Well, that's what they say is the same thing about between Blu-ray and the HD DVDs at the time was Disney was going. It was like Disney and porn were the two going towards Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So Blu-ray took off and became became it. So porn is. So
I remember when people had Laserdisc and they were so cool. And now, like, it's probably worth a lot of money if you still had your Laserdisc player and some of the original movies that were on it. I'm sure it was like all the hipsters want to buy it, and put it in their house.
So let me buy this Laserdisc player and watch. So we actually had one that the disc you didn't have to open it and flip it over. So it actually had the laser on both sides. Yeah, so it would just like flip over to the next. But once that disc was over, you had to get disc number 2 of 7 or...
Well, it wasn't... I don't remember it like that. I remember whole movies on one disc.
Oh, no. I had movies that were like 4 discs or...
But we didn't have one. I just had friends that had them, So maybe we were watching cartoons or
maybe
something.
you didn't watch the whole movie.
Or maybe we didn't watch the whole movie. I couldn't tell you, to be quite honest.
The last 10 minutes.
Our first thing was a VCR. I remember, like, you put it in the top and it pushed down.
Yeah.
And, like, we never did get the beta. But, like, it was always, like, which one was going to take off.
Right.
And then...
Well, I think we got... Because we had both. Only because I think my dad was able to... test them or something.
I gotcha. Oh, well, he worked with the movie theaters.
So I think that's kind of because we would get some movies and whatever. But
I mean, think about what a crazy change that was for society. People could have movies at home.
Yeah.
You could buy a movie and watch it at home.
You didn't have to wait for like the Sunday night movie.
That was a big deal. Yeah. Like, I mean, we couldn't watch. I mean, I remember that.
I remember when
a movie when like The Wizard of Oz came on TV, you were so excited. Now it's everywhere. Like
I remember when I first got Star Wars on VHS.
And you probably watched it 1,000 times.
I think I had to buy another tape because I probably ruined that.
And that was
tape.
it. Especially with VHS, the more you watched it, like the worse the picture got.
Yeah, then it would get a little bad. But well, I mean, I don't even really remember beta. I mean, I remember friends having it, but I don't remember us. I remember going to like the video store and you like stayed away from the beta section because
you couldn't watch them.
Yeah, that's just not what we did. When movies cost like $5
we weren't just beta people, okay?
Yeah, I know, right?
We just weren't. Remember how expensive they were? And then the late fee was like $2 a day or something?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's what happened. Like, they got so ridiculous with their fees, trying to like make more and more profit off of people. As soon as people could download movies and, and buy movies, they're all gone. All those video stores are gone. I mean, there's still a Blockbuster in my neighborhood.
I think because DVD I thought kind of ruined the video store too. Was because I guess you could buy movies. Oh yeah,
on VHS I remember renting DVD movies. Yeah, like they all switched to DVD, but then you could start downloading.
Like
them.
Once Netflix, and all of that kind of came around.
You could stream it, and then like, why are you going to buy it? Because most people are kind of like me, I think, and don't really like. I don't have a whole library of movies. I mean, we do, but most of them are Dan's. But because like I'm never going to watch it again. Like, why would I buy it?
I know. See, that's I
already saw the story.
I used to buy movies, but I don't really buy them anymore because.
No, there's a couple movies that I'll buy, like things that like movies that I really like Hedwig or like things like that. I watch it again and again, but
I have
usually not.
Romy and Michelle and Steel Magnolias.
Speaking of the link you posted the other day.
So there was the link of why you and your best friend are Romy and Michelle.
If anybody needs to make a call, I have a phone. I'm the Mary, you're the Rhoda.
excuse me, I lost my top. Sorry, I lost my top.
There's so many good things in that movie. That's like you. Let me tell about you. Like with your little lady fairs that you buy.
Oh, yeah, the lady fairs.
We call them lady fairs, but like they're the cigarette for the girl on the go, you know? Because like they're like the smallest little cigarettes. They're so cute. They're not the long, skinny ones. They're like just super short.
It's the new Marlboro 72s. Yeah, it's not like the Capri cigarettes or the Virginia Slime.
I remember all the ladies at Bingo would smoke those long cigarettes, and then sometimes they'd have the filter on the end of it.
Yeah, the filter was really long, and then they would have their nails that were out here like this too, you know.
With their little troll dolls.
Like, kroom, 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 kroom.
That's funny.
Those were the days when you could smoke in the bingo parlor.
You could smoke everywhere. I was just talking to like, okay, so I've got this new coworker. He was born in 1986.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, so that makes me feel really old because, like, you know, he's in his late 20s.
Yeah.
And he was born in 1986. That's even more depressing. But, you know, like, he's young and stuff. And, like, he doesn't understand all that. Like, I was telling him, like, something about, like, he chews. And so he can't, you know, like go outside and take a 5-minute break and get his chew on, you know, so he has to do it at his desk. And he's like a little nervous about like, you know, just doing that in the office because, you know, he doesn't know if it's appropriate or not. And I get that. But like, I was like, dude, like 20 years ago, I'd be smoking right here.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I guess. And I'm like, no. Like,
no, seriously,
I would be.
Yeah.
And, like, you would never even dream to complain about it because people didn't even know how bad it was.
Right.
You know, like, I remember when they first started doing all that. I remember smoking in the hospital waiting rooms.
Oh, yeah.
I remember smoking on the plane in the in the smoking section.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it made any difference because it was all the same recirculated air. All the planes smelled like cigarette smokes. Like, do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I do.
So different back then. You smoked everywhere. People smoked in line.
But not only that, like, sitting in the smoking section as a child while your dad is sitting next to you, like, smoke, you know, like, that was really good for me.
Even when they had that, I would sit in non-smoking because, like, the smell of smoke while I'm eating is gross. Yeah. And I'm a smoker. Yeah.
That's when you used to be able to eat on planes. Or, like, oh, so in the restaurants you would sit in non-smoking?
In the restaurants I would sit in non-smoking as well. Unless I had been out drinking and I was older. That was different. But, like, when I was there for dinner, and, like, especially with the kids, it was always non-smoking.
Oh, at Denny's, I would just sit and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes all night.
No, I did that when I was younger. And, like, we hung out at Denny's. My stepsister worked at a Denny's.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. God, those were good times, actually. It was a lot of fun.
I know. But
we were young and like, she's like, buy something besides coffee.
I know, that poor waitress is like, can I have a coffee? Okay, I'll have the $1 French fries. You know? And so they'd like, eat one. Yum.
Yeah, she hated you.
That poor waitress. I've been kicked out of several.
For that?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell a terrible story about myself. So I love Denny's, and I do. Like, every city you go to, it's the same, and their food's great, and I love the diner Denny's. Well, one time I was with my ex in Kansas City, and we went to Denny's after the bars, and, like, they were packed, and it took us, like, 20 minutes to get a seat. We got a seat. It took us, like, an hour to get our food. And then we waited for our check, literally, for 45 minutes. And I walked up to the register, and I'm like, no one will bring us our check. We were ready to leave. Oh, I'll be right with you. And so I went and sat back down, and 15 minutes later, she didn't come. We got up and walked out.
Oh, yeah. I
dine and dash at a Denny's. I've never done that before, and that's illegal. Like, I'm not like a lawbreaker or whatever, but I had enough. And, like, I got up and walked out. Like, I was that pissed. But I wasn't like, I was all, like, cool about it. I'd said to my ex, I'm like, you go outside, and then I'll meet you out there. Pull the car up.
Yeah. Nice.
And then as soon as he pulled the car up, I power walked it out of there.
That's funny. I did.
We were from another town. We were never going to see them again.
I would do gas and dash with friends.
Oh, I would never. Oh my God.
You know, the one person stays in the driver's seat. The backseat person leaves the door open, and you pump, and then in and
so you could get away with that.
And boom. Well, you could back then because
it was a big city.
But they also didn't have the cameras watching you as you're pumping back then either. So I mean, now there's cameras on everything. They know your license plate immediately.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go. But okay, well.
I was kind of thinking about that. Hold on. I was thinking about that on the drive up here today. I was like, you know how they show those camera shots of like this intersect?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I could totally be on that right now. Like, and that's those cameras, like you were saying. They're just everywhere.
I always want to find the Google car and just like follow it everywhere.
We saw the Google car one time.
Like, behind it,
We were just driving like the other way on the highway, but we saw it. That was kind of cool.
Just be like right behind it the entire time, topless or something, like, woo!
Got to do something crazy.
But
they come recently because they have our most recent vehicle that I just got like 3 months ago.
Oh yeah,
in the picture, like when you pull up our house.
Huh.
Like they come often because before that they had Dan's pickup truck.
Oh, okay.
And then before that, they had my Explorer. So like,
yeah,
I've lived there 2 years and it's changed 3 times.
Huh. Well.
So it's more often than I would have expected.
Yeah, because I always thought that it was just kind of, they were there. I mean, it's not like the neighborhood changes.
Think about how much money they pay people to go out and drive around.
Well,
I'll do it. I volunteer.
The car drove itself.
Oh, I saw a person in the one that I saw.
Oh, okay, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool.
Maybe they do, though.
The car just drove itself. I was
that would be awesome.
If the Google car can drive itself, then it should drive me home after the bar.
Absolutely.
I want the Google
that's
car
coming. One of these days,
drive
that's
me
coming.
home after the bar. But anyway, well, why don't we go ahead and call this episode good?
Let's call it good.
And then...
Well, it was great to see you.
Yes, good to see you.
Please check out our sponsors. Yes. Please, follow us on our sponsors. Wait.
I know. This is our emails.
Yeah, you can totally reach out to us on email. But everyone Twitters, everyone goes on Facebook. So please like us and tweet us, and we'll tweet you back. And check out our sponsors for sure.
Yes, we'll return the love.
We will return the love. Oh my God, we're excited. So we are planning some. We've told you guys this before, but some I guess we'll call them deck top.
Yeah, some rooftop
parties, where we're going to have a show and maybe have some of our friends on, so that'll be fun. So if you guys want to do that, let us know.
If we can never get out of the snow, now we're in the rainy season, so...
Absolutely. It is raining at something always. But anyways, it's good to see you, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.